November 4th, 2026. As the morning sun rises over New York City, a rat scurries across an empty Fifth Avenue, but for a pizza box left over from a bygone era blowing across the roadway. In the alley, a bum zips up his fly and turns away from the wall, leaving his mark upon it. An old woman, wrapped in a dirty brown coat with a Mamdani for Mayor 25 button on it, scurries to the far side of the sidewalk to avoid the bum coming from the alley. "Go away," she screeches at the startled bum, who slinks back into the alley. The wind whips down cavernous Fifth Avenue, whistling between the rusting cars scattered hither and yon, the once great and powerful city crushed by the weight of free childcare, free buses and government groceries. Alas, the sad remnants of a once glorious civilization cries out, "You promised free apartments." The bum slinks further into the alleyway, muttering in Arabic, "You didn't deserve them."
Terrible. It's it's gonna be bad. It's going to be bad. Bad, bad, bad. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. J. Thomas Radio. Episode number 2. I'm sorry we weren't here. I was getting my eyeball fixed. And I have to fix the other one, which will be another... that will be another appointment. We'll set that up. And that's Kevin MacLeod and Still Picking. Excited to have that as our theme song for right now. It's happy, isn't it? Okay, so the Zorro Madcommie. I put this on X, on Twitter. I have to call it Twitter. I've been calling it Twitter for years, so I put this on Twitter, and because right after the election, I predicted that Madcommie would do this. Zorro Madcommie, which I affectionately refer to him as the Madcommie, is going to want to. I predicted this. He's going to want to. The first thing he's going to say, one of the first things, is going to want to meet with Trump, and that happened today, according to Breitbart. It's on Breitbart's webpage, and I knew that was going to happen. I think we all did. He has to. And he says in the article that he wants to meet with Trump to make sure that his programs work for the average New Yorker, and that he is looking out for the average New Yorker who voted for him, which is bullcrap. That's not why he wants to speak to Trump. He wants his programs. He doesn't care if his programs work or not, and I'll get to that in a little bit. And he wants Trump to join him in this, not for any success of his programs, but to blame the ultimate failure on Trump. If Trump doesn't help him, he's going to say it's capitalism's fault, and Trump's fault specifically, that his great programs are not going to work, or not working, and that we have to change the entire system. The system is a problem, not his stupid programs. So that's number one. He doesn't care if they work or not. Number two is he's going to meet, and I predict this. He's going to meet with Trump at Trump Tower. He's not going to meet at the White House. Trump's not going to. I don't think Trump is dumb enough to have him at the White House. I mean, I wouldn't. That would be a disaster. So he's going to meet him at Trump Tower. and he won't. This won't be on the news. It's not going to be like one of his public affairs where he meets with people and takes questions. It's going to be behind the closed doors. And so this will allow the mad commie, the Zorro, this will allow him to say he also told Trump that he's going to arrest any ICE agents going after illegal aliens. Illegal aliens, he's going to double down and say, I told that SOB, I told him that he cannot go after our poor illegal aliens who are doing everything. They make this city what it is. They make New York City better. They make New York City what it is. New York City is welcoming. It says so on the Statue of Liberty. So, by the way, someone should go ahead and chisel that off the Statue of Liberty, but the dumb poem that's on there. Anyway, so this is the reason why he's going to do this, is that it's going to be blaming capitalism. He doesn't care, number one, that his policies, these are terrible policies. And when they fail, he wants to be able to blame it on capitalism. And he wants to take the show on the road with Bernie Sanders and AOC, and he wants to make sure that he look, I had these great programs, free buses, free busing, free buses, city buses where you can ride for free. And Cece, did you ask me why it was wrong, or why it's what were you saying? Okay, Cece says that she doesn't see that as a big problem if they enforce rules. Well, they're not going to enforce the rules. You, I- if what are they going to do? I mean, if you right now, when you ride the bus is like you get on stop A and you pay, your 25 cents, 25 cents, whatever it is. I mean, you pay a little bit of money and you go to stop C and you paid to go past stop B. Well, if it's free, you can take it from A to Z and you can ride that bus all night long and all day long. That's going to be your home, right? You don't see that? You don't see the well, even no, because I have to do that. I gotta go do because I don't want dead air, and you can't hear Cece. So no, because they'll just ride the buses. If you're homeless, you're gonna ride the buses. It's not wet. It's not gonna rain on you. It's gonna be warm. There's gonna be other people there to give you money. It's going to be a cluster. If you don't have to pay for it, you're gonna. It's human nature. See, like we said before, it's just human nature. If you're homeless and you have nowhere to go, you're gonna go on the bus. That's your new home. So they're gonna, yeah, you get to the end where the bus driver is gonna quit and he has to drop you off. Well, you're gonna wait outside the bus terminal and get right back on the bus that's going the other way, right? You don't see that? Well, they'll. Okay. CC's never been to New York City. Yeah, I've been there, unfortunately. I was born there, unfortunately. CC's never been out of Oklahoma. Hmm? Well, it's you're not missing anything. So these are terrible programs, and they're going to fail. They're going to fail spectacularly, as I said before. They're just going to fail. Like and we've talked about this on X, so you know the answer. So I'm not going to ask you again. So I asked Cece before. I said, "How much do you think?" Let's take the grocery stores, the city-run grocery stores, and I asked Cece, "How much do you think a grocery store makes is profit?" And she said 20%. That's what you said, right? You thought it was about 20%. And well, it's not. It's going to be. It's actually like a 3 to 5%. Actually, somebody said that if you ask the textbooks, it's 1 to 5%, but it's usually about 3 to 5% is what a grocery store makes. And so, and that's after you pay everything. You pay all your operating costs, product, everything, and that's what you get. So if you have a government-run grocery store, you're going to pay them government wages, which are higher than free market rate wages. They used to not be, but they are now. So you're going to pay them if you're making $15 an hour, okay, uh, as the minimum wage. You work for the city of New York in your grocery store, you're going to get $20 to $25 an hour. And plus, there's going to be shoplifting. There's going to be, you're going to invite your friends in, give them, free discount, give them free food. There's going to be all sorts of other just anomalies, that things that you wouldn't have in a regular grocery store. You're going to have, the shoplifting is going to be out of control. It's just going to be a mess. So you're going to have all this other stuff on top of paying medical, dental, psychological, free food, free lunch hour, paid vacations, whatever the other grocery stores don't give. The government-run grocery store is going to give it. Believe me. So it's going to be higher operating costs, and then they're going to try to give lower food costs. And it's not going to work. It's just not. So that's what's going to happen with the grocery stores. And so Cece also asked me that she thought that she thought there was a Walmart, and it say something like that. Okay, so you think that New York City grocery stores operate on a different uh, financial rules, I guess, economic rules than regular grocery stores. So you think they are charging 20-25%. Well, yeah, they have the bodegas. So you think you think that if Walmart had bodegas, right? If it was a Walmart bodega instead of insert Indian name here, bodega, because I can't pronounce them. You pronounce them; they're like 5 paragraphs long. Anyway, so you think that that if Walmart ran the bodegas, it would be cheaper? Okay, all right. So okay. Well, that's a good question. Would Walmart, if New York City allowed a Walmart, which they wouldn't, can you imagine a Walmart in the middle of Manhattan? Oh, man. Um, I I they're probably on the outskirts, but I know they're not like downtown New York City. I don't know. Look that up. See if there are, but I don't think there are. Last time I was there, they weren't. Anyway, so you have all these what social you have a lot of people that went to school for really dumb degrees. And again, these some of these degrees aren't so stupid. You used to have a degree in computer science. Now, not so much. So, let's say you have a computer science degree with a gender studies minor or a gender studies degree. You spent all that money going to school for the gender studies. Now you're living in New York City, where $4,000 a month will get you a 1 bedroom with a bathroom down the hall. It's not going to be in your room, and your bedroom is in the kitchen. And if you think I'm kidding, I'm not. So maybe it's 3,000, but that's what you got to pay for your rent. Plus, you have all the other stuff. I had a guy. I was stationed in New York, and I had people tell me that in New York City you don't have to have the expense of a car because you can get around. And if you wanted to go somewhere, then you rented a car, and that was their thing. And who would want to leave New York City? Oh my God! Well, I do. But so you have all these, you have all the expenses of living in New York City, plus the high food costs, high electricity, whatever else you have, and you're a barista at the local Starbucks. Well, they're not going to be any more than say you're making $20 an hour. You're not going to be able to afford your apartment. So they're all operating on an economic, uh, their economic system. The New York City. Someone should do matter of fact. I would love to do a study on this. A study on the economic system that's New York City, because that has to be screwed up. It just has to be totally screwed up. And it's because of how they voted. Let me tell you something. If you voted yourself into the corner where Mamdani, the Madcommie, what was his name, Kumo, and Sliwa were your choices, you voted yourself into that corner because you've been voting for this for years, for centuries. You've been voting for this for decades. You voted for every free thing that came down the pike. And it's still unaffordable. But you have been voting for the very things that make the city unaffordable. And so now you're going to use the power of the city to tax white people, apparently. That's what my Madcommie says. You're going to tax the rich white people. By the way, 50 Cent, it's not a white guy, and he's getting the hell out of New York City. You're going to tax all the rich people. They're going to leave, and you're not going to have that tax base. But the regular New York City people have been voting this way for decades, and they don't get it that it doesn't work, and that's how just dumb they are. They are so involved with this economic system that doesn't work that now they have voted for communism. And I'm not calling Mamdani a commie because it rhymes. He is a commie. He says he is. It's not me. I'm not calling him that. He is a communist. He said he is. He goes, I'm a communist. I'm a socialist. Well, that's the same thing. Communist, socialist. So that's my my take on that. I told everybody last week or right after the election that this was going to happen. That he would want to meet with Trump. And I hope Trump doesn't take, Trump just likes to. He'll talk to you. Yeah, I'll talk to you. I just don't see this as a good thing. Trump would say, no, I'm not going to talk to you. You have your economic plan. Just enact your economic plan. You had all the answers prior to the election. Well, okay, let's see him. Put him to work. But again, I don't think Trump will do that. He will talk to him, but he'll talk to him at Trump Tower, and he's going to talk to him in private. He's not going to talk to him out in the open, and so people could ask questions. He's going to, and again, Zorro's going to lie. So that's my prediction now is that Zorro will meet with him. I was hoping he wouldn't. I mean, I'm hoping Trump just says no, but Donald, he's going to do it. Yeah, the president will meet with people. So he will do it, and he just thinks he's going to outsmart him. But again, he has to know, and I know that he has people smart enough around him to know that he's not meeting him. Mamdani is not meeting him to make his plans, his programs work. He doesn't care about if the programs work or not, because if they work, he's going to take credit. If they don't work, he's going to blame Trump, and they're not going to work. So he will blame Trump. He'll blame capitalism, and him and AOC, who is just dumb as a box of rocks. And it doesn't matter that she's dumb, and it doesn't matter if Bernie Sanders is a useless socialist who's just been a useless human being all of his life. He's had like one job his entire life. One job in the private sector. I think it was a dog catcher, and he was I don't know. I think he was a teacher or something. He's just anyway. So they're going to take this on the road, and they're going to try to change the country, and that is the reason he wants to meet with President Trump. I don't want to be disrespectful. To meet with the president, that's what he's going to do. So that's I'm waiting. I'm waiting for this to fall apart. You know, we played that little thing in the beginning, and that's what I think was going to happen. That it's just going to be, in a year from now, the wind will be blowing down Fifth Avenue, as the bum comes out, and it's going to be terrible. You already have people that have been threatening to leave, and I know they probably won't. People don't. Mamdani's he's gonna cool it on the tax thing. Yeah, yeah, he will. He'll have to cool it on the tax thing. He's not. Well, he's already backpedaling on a lot of the promises he's made. So we'll see. He's still saying that he's going to have these programs. So that's ridiculous. And it's been tried other places. So, but why? Okay, let's part two of this. Why is he doing this? Why was it successful in New York City? New York City is the cradle of capitalism, right? We've always thought of it as the cradle of Wall Street, the cradle of capitalism. Well, it's been beaten up over the past 10 years, 15 years. And it's not the city that it's not the city that Frank Sinatra sang about anymore. You don't go to New York. If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. You don't go to New York because you're talented and you want to get ahead and you want to make money. That's why people went to New York. People went to New York to make money. If you weren't on the air in New York, then you were really nothing. That's why all the NBC, CBS, Fox. That's why they're all in New York, because if you were not on the air in New York, then you were just a podunk. You were just a rube, and that's why they all went there. It's not like that anymore. People have been beaten down. Plus, they've invited half the third world nations into our country, which is another problem. But we'll get to that later too. So New York isn't the city that never sleeps, and that you're always moving. Have you ever been to Asia? And I don't know. It's not Japan, but let's say I was in the Philippines last year, and if you're in Manila at midnight, it's the same as Manila at noon. Everybody's out. The traffic is terrible, and people are just hustling. And that's the way that New York City used to be. That you hustled. There's always some kind of hustle going on, and you were making money, and that's what it was like. I was in New York City, July or August of 2001, just before 9/11, and they dragged me to this bar somewhere by Yankee Stadium, and I had a Detroit Tigers shirt on. And I didn't want to go because I said, all I got is this tiger shirt. He goes, oh, they won't care. Like an idiot, I go and I step into the bar, and the first thing I hear is, take that shirt off. But they were really nice, and they bought me beers, and they didn't kill me. But that's what it was like. It was 1 o'clock in the morning, and everything was still going. That's what it used to be like. I don't know what it's like anymore, but it's going to be bad. So that's my prediction, and it's not going to take long to be bad. I think what New York will swear in the Mad Commie December. They don't swear in next year. It's going to be December, and I predict by next December, there's going to be a lot of crappy things going on in New York City. So that's my prediction again. We'll see. We'll see in a year from now. But coming up, we're going to do some things on. I'm going to do a segment on China, and I don't know what's going on with President Trump. I do not know why he wants to have 600,000 Chinese remain in America and be invited. I don't think that's not American first. The 50-year mortgage. If you don't know what's wrong with that, I'm going to explain it. I'm going to draw it out for you. Hopefully, I'll have some a little picture I can show you, and I'll tell you what's wrong with that. It's the never-ending rental. It's the never-ending thing. Plus, you'll be paying so much more. I think it's illegal. I think 50-year mortgages are illegal. But I brought this up a long time ago. I brought this up in 2008 or 9, and I was just talking to some people. I said, we're going to have 50-year mortgages soon. And it was after the Great Recession. It was after all the crap went down. I said it's just going to be terrible because they're going to keep the QE, quantitative easing. They're going to keep that up. You're going to have 10 years of zero interest rates, and then you're going to have to bring them up, and then that's going to throw a wrench into everything. And it just sort of came true because you can see these things. Is that the phone that should never ring again, Cece? I thought you turned it off. Turn it. Just turn it off. Anyway, so we have the phone going that should never ring. The ringer should always be off on it. That's going to be the phone, by the way, that you call in. So we're getting that put together. Anyway, so there's some things on China. There's something on the 50-year mortgage and some stupid things that I think the administration is doing. But and I get it. I know that President Trump likes to, shoot something out there, see who salutes it. But this is not a good idea. This is a terrible idea, and we'll show you that why. We're coming up on the 30-minute mark. We are going to what's that? Yeah, we'll do that later. I got to get some things together. I'm sorry we weren't here yesterday or the day before. I did get my eyeball worked on. We are going to do another eyeball, work on my other eyeball, so that will be coming up. But we are going to be here at 11 o'clock daily, starting hopefully soon, tomorrow. And we're going to be here for 2 hours. So tomorrow I'm going to do some things that are going on in Oklahoma. I'll do the first hour in Oklahoma. Some terrible things are going on here, and they need to stop. So enjoy yourself. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll be back.